Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. I've been having a little bit of a think about what I'm going to do for my next machine, and I think I've come up with a good answer. And been going through the sort of things that I want to build in the future and in what order, and I've decided something that might be useful for me to build, as this macerator is macerating away coal, so I'll leave it doing that. And there's a very specific reason why I am macerating coal as well, but we'll talk about that later. Let's just get away from these noisy machines. And what I've decided that I should probably build is the fluid transposer. I had to double check there, because it used to be called the liquid transposer. It used to be part of Industrial Craft 2. Is now the fluid transposer. And the main reason for that is it can be used to fill things and empty things with various liquids. Now this has to be used, as far as I can remember, to put liquid ender, or to make liquid ender so that we can use a tesseract. Now that's what we're going to want to be able to do at some point. I want to be able to build a liquid tesseract so that I can put one in the nether and then pump lava through that tesseract into the base. And the main reason for doing that is that I want an infinite supply of lava to the smeltery, so I don't have to keep running out with a bucket to fill that up. And also an infinite supply of lava to the igneous extruder, because I'd like to be able to make a lot of obsidian. Now the reason for that, because I've got a fairly decent amount of coal, and we'll probably get quite a bit more from the quarry as well. As you can see, the quarry is still doing particularly well. There's quite a lot of coal that is stuck around in the walls. I have gone through and filled in those gaps that we made a few episodes ago when we went a bit sort of trigger happy with the mining laser. And I keep emptying these things out. Yes, I appreciate that I will need a sorting machine at some point. But one thing that's going to be very important later on is diamonds, because not only do we need diamonds for a lot of the machines and items we're going to be making, but we also need to be able to get a decent power infrastructure if we want to be able to run applied energistics. And I don't like using sort of insulated tin cables. I much prefer using glass fiber cables, and that uses a lot of diamonds. Now, with some obsidian and some coal dust and some flint and a compressor, we can actually go ahead and make some diamonds. But getting flint's easy enough. We've got stacks of it. Getting coal's easy enough. The thing that is going to cause the problem is going to be the obsidian. So that's one of the things that we're going to work towards. Also, using the liquid transposer to be able to run the coolant reactor, using the liquid transposer to be able to move coolant around so that we can use that to build parts for the reactor is going to be useful as well. So you can see a couple of things that I've done here. First of all, I've taken out the turning table, because one thing that I hadn't realised is that electric kinetic generator constantly draws power even when it's not being used, and it completely emptied out my bat box. So you see there's a couple of different pipes down here, and what I've basically done is down here I've made a little ladder that goes down, and I have emptied out this extra space. And what I've done is I've gone and made some tanks. Now these used to be BuildCraft tanks, they're now BuildCraft factory tanks. I think I was a little bit optimistic about the various number of liquids you can make with the liquid transposer, because I think there's only about like 4 or 5. There's like water, coolant, liquid ender, liquid redstone, and I think there might be 1 or 2 more. I can always repurpose these tanks, but I wasn't counting, and I just made a load of stuff and just used everything that I had. But we can always repurpose them later. So all of these tanks basically are connected to this cobblestone fluid pipe. Each of them on the bottom have a wooden fluid pipe with a redstone engine connecting them all up. And along the top is a stone fluid pipe that just goes into the first tank. Now, I demonstrated this a while ago when I did it on my Feed the Beast Ultimate series. And that is, these tanks can only hold 1 liquid at a time. So if I was to have one non-continuous pipe that ran all the way along the top of these tanks and started pouring liquid, it would actually spill over and fill into all of the tanks, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do is just connect the pipe up to the first tank. However, as soon as this tank has any liquid in it, let's say that this tank has water in it, if I then connect this pipe up so that both of these tanks are connected and start pumping in liquid ender, for example, the liquid ender would ignore the first tank, because the first tank already has a liquid in it that isn't liquid ender, and it would go into the second tank. And we'll just keep doing that until we've got all of the different tanks filled. And like I said, some of them will be spare and we'll repurpose them. Now, because this fluid transposer actually uses thermal expansion instead of Industrial Craft, I'm not sure whether it runs off MJ or whether it needs another type of energy. So I'm going to have to work out that one on the fly. We also need to build a canning machine at some point, because I know a lot of you want me to build some overclockers for these machines, which I really should do. And of course we need to make the canning machine so that we can make the coolant cells. And this is going to be a little bit ugly with all the pipes and stuff around as well, I appreciate that. But again, that's something that we will fix in time. So let's go ahead and try and make the fluid transposer. The first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get ourselves a machine frame. Now, machine frame is basically some iron ingots, some glass, and a tin gear. And we can make a tin gear with an iron ingot surrounded by tin. Don't have a lot of iron in here, actually. Is that another iron block? No, it's a basic machine casing. Thought we had an iron block there. Let's go ahead and grab some iron then from the smeltery, because we do have a little bit of iron left. In fact, we've actually got a fair bit of iron left, because we went mining and we found a bit, and I haven't smelted that up yet. So let's go ahead and grab some of this iron. We won't need all of it, but I think the smeltery can hold about 18 blocks. So I'll go ahead and throw another batch in there. So of course this thing gets through quite a lot of lava. Oh, it's well more than 18 blocks. Looks like we can actually hold sort of 25. But let's go ahead and grab that. So back up to this floor. Okay, so we're going to start by grabbing ourselves some iron blocks. We want one iron block surrounded by tin. Not quite. Misclicked there a little bit, didn't I? There we go. We have ourselves our tin gear. And then we just need glass and iron blocks. So, just had the iron a second ago. The iron goes in the corners. And the glass. There we go. We have our basic machine frame. And then we need a bucket, we need some more glass, and some other stuff. Well, let's go ahead and make the easy stuff first. Why not? We can go ahead and make the bucket. I know we do have some spare ones around, but we will be using it. And again, misclicked, because I can't use a mouse today, apparently. So, we need the bucket. We also need 2 copper gears. Oops. Now, apparently, there's a couple of different ways of making these. There's a stone gear. Apparently, you can make the copper gear with a lead ingot surrounded. Thermal foundation, forestry. Yeah, so you can make one iron surrounded by copper. So let's go ahead and do it that way. Just because it's a little bit quicker and easier than making a wooden one and then a stone one and stuff like that. And again, we'll have just used up most of our iron. There's 2 copper gears. And we need to make this redstone reception coil. We need a gold ingot, which of course I don't have any here. Because why would I? So let's go ahead and grab a gold ingot. And go back here. So we've got a gold ingot. We've got 2 redstone. That makes us our reception coil. And that should be everything that we need there to make it, actually. It's a pretty simple build. And there we go. We actually have our fluid transposer. Manipulates fluids and fluid containers. So let's go ahead and try dropping it down here and see what happens. Well, it's got into place. Now, what we want to have is the red side is going to be our output. Now, let's make sure we've got this right. Augmentation. Not augmentation, configuration. So, the blue is going to be the input, which for the most part is going to be on the right. Can't remember how I've got this wide up now. Let's go and have a look. Down we go. So input is this pipe because it comes in from the bottom. So the input is the one on the side. And the output is the one on the back. There we go. That's what we needed to know. So the back one, which is, that's top, that's the bottom, those are the sides, that's the back one. The back one is the output. The output is going to be a red one. And the input is the one on this side, so that's going to be a blue one. And then the others aren't really used for anything at all. Actually, no, it's not the back, is it? It's the bottom. The bottom one is input. Because that goes in through the bottom, power goes in through the back. Have we got the power connected up? Because remember, sometimes if the cables are already there when you put the machine in, it doesn't connect the cables up. And in fact, it hasn't connected a cable up. We will need to go and grab a cable. So let's just get that right. The one on the bottom is the output. Always a little bit confusing, this machine. So let's double check that again. So the one on the bottom is the output, which I think is this one, red. The one on the side is the input. That should work. We need another cable. Hopefully it works on MJ. I know it used to in one version, but I say it may have changed. This is the problem with it. Well, it almost looks like it's connected up. The cable definitely snapped to the machine. Now let's take something that we can turn into a liquid, for example, redstone. Will it work? We want to fill. We don't have an item in here. Okay, well we do have a bucket of water. We can try this. Put the bucket of water in there, and we want to empty. Ah, yes, it needs RF now. It doesn't use MJ anymore. That's a little bit of a pain in the hoop. Because it needs an engine connected to it, which now means technically it's on the wrong floor. Yes, because we need to go up a floor now. That is going to be annoying, but not the end of the world. Well, we can fix that. We can definitely fix that. So, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to take the pipes down through the floor. Let's go upstairs and see how we've got things connected up here. So, we could, for example, connect our... Let's make sure this is on the right mode to start with. Low focus. So, we could connect it up through here. And we could just basically dig down. It's not a terrible idea. It's not a great idea, but it's not a terrible idea. Makes a little bit of a mess. Because what's that? Thermal expansion. Yeah, this is RF now, isn't it? Yeah, okay. That's going to make life a little bit difficult, but not impossible. So let's go ahead, and we need to make a hole there so we can connect the power. And we need a hole underneath so that we can get the input or the output. And we're going to need another one at the side. Now, what's this? This is the induction smelter. We don't really want the pipe connecting to the induction smelter, so let's go for one on the other side here. And these are both going to go down. Now this will be a little bit messy, but once we manage to build our assembly table, we'll be able to build the covers and hide a lot of these this junk and holes. So we'll go ahead and make these holes down here. Now let's go down, and here we are. We've managed to drop down into this room. That'll hurt a little bit. It's going to be tricky getting somewhere to run these pipes along that is efficient and doesn't take up a lot of space or make a lot of mess. So we'll probably run them side by side through the ceiling. Seems like a good idea. Got to be careful because there is some water up here, of course, because we do have that. Aqueous accumulator up here. So if we go ahead and do this, not sure that I want to risk taking those two blocks out. So let's go this way. And we'll go down here. Just redo the torches a little bit. Don't like that gravel. Would prefer smooth stone, but I haven't got any to hand, so cobblestone will do for now. So we're going to have to make a lot more... quite a bit more in the terms of piping to get this to work, which is a little bit of a shame. Let's go ahead and take out these. Oh, we're too far away to reach them. Can we pick that up? Yeah. There we go. Let's grab those. Did have some spares in here, actually, I think. Right, not an awful lot. Gonna have to make some more. Thought I'd have enough, but I wouldn't do. Now we've got a fair bit of space to cover. So, we had our output coming from the back of the machine. So let's go ahead and do that. And our output is going to be the stone pipe. So let's go ahead and work all this out. A lot of running around now. So, well, obviously power's coming out the back of the machine. So we want the stone pipe. Now this is going to be our output. So this is going to come out from the bottom of the machine. So this is our output pipe right here. And in fact, the machine's not actually going in the wall, so it's going to have to go there. So this is going to be quite messy, unfortunately. Probably, is that right? Yeah. So this is going to be the bottom of the machine, which will be the output. And let's bring that along this way. Down the wall. And we've got to be careful because we don't really want them to cross over. That should be fine. This is going to be output. Okay, so the output's done. Now we just need to make some cobblestone fluid pipes for the transport, so that's easy enough. Let's go and take the machine out. Make sure we've got all the space that we need. Now, what is it? Thermal expansion. So it can be removed with the mining laser. That was a bit of a risk. So we don't need these in here anymore. And unfortunately, ow, luggage getting in the way slightly and making things a little bit difficult. There's some more pipes. I do have the required marble somewhere to go and fill that hole. There we go. Also got the cobblestone. So at least this room no longer looks a complete and utter mess. Let's get rid of that marble there. Okay. Now what do we need to make? Some cobblestone pipes. Did I still have cobblestone on me? Yes, I do. And we've got glass in here. So we'll go ahead and make ourselves some more. I probably don't need that many, actually. 40 is probably more than enough. But now I need the cobblestone transport pipes. I need to make it liquid again. Liquid proof, a liquid pipe. Where did I put that cactus green? It's in one of these chests. At least I thought I put it back in here. I only had it this morning. Did I use it all? It's a tiny little bit left there. Okay. We'll use the rest of the cactus, I suppose. Cactus juice. Refreshing. Let's go and use the electric furnace. And let's sleep it off to get back to daylight hours again. And all of this is going to be a little bit of mess. I guess we could go ahead and... do I have any stone, actually? Let's go and have a little look in the chest. Is there any smooth stone in here? There probably... oh, there's a whole stack of it. That's fine. Get rid of that gravel. We'll hang on to everything else for the time being. So we'll come back up here. And I can... that should be yeah, we'll do it that way. That's fine. That fills that in. So while we're waiting on that cactus green, let's just go down here. I can go ahead and fill in these two spaces here that I didn't like now. There we go. Fantastic. Let's eat a little bit of pork chop. There we are. And we have cactus green. Now, I can't remember. Did we put that straight in here? Yeah, pipe sealant. There we go. Let's not have that. So always worries me right-clicking on stuff if I have that out. So cobblestone transport pipes only gives us 7. That's not an awful lot, really. That's 14, but we're probably still going to need more. And which means I need to grab some more cactus, which is fine. Because I have more cactus, and I've gone the wrong way. I went up, I needed to go down. There we go, on the right floor now. Because what I did with the cactus that we had left over last time is I planted it all, and I just keep going out and harvesting it whenever I need more. Apparently there's a skeleton around. Yeah, not your day, really. So, there's that skeleton dealt with, which was rather annoying. Now, I'm just going to very quickly, before I do anything else, make sure I put this back onto low focus mode, so that when I go and fire it in the house later, I don't take out 3/4 of the tower. So let's go ahead and get over here. We seem to have some sort of hat-wearing squid. I think that's one of the hats that I've already got, possibly, but we'll... I'm sure turning on this nano saber under the water is not a good idea. Oh no, apparently it wasn't a hat that I already had. So here we go. You can see we have these the cactus that are growing nicely. Let's go ahead and chop them down. Always leave the bottom blocks, of course, because the bottom blocks will regrow. Let's just jump in the water and make sure we pick up all the bits that we've dropped. It's not an awful lot of cactus, but it should be enough to make things regrow. Do we have any skeleton bones there? No. Didn't know whether I'd picked up a bone from that skeleton. I thought we could have just gone and bone mealed them and got them to grow again a little bit more quickly, but that's fine. That's as much as we're going to need. We'll go and cook that up. We'll make some more pipe sealant, and then we'll have the fluid transposer working. I think what I'll probably do then, before I go straight onto the Tesseract, probably will start looking at the canning machine, because, as people have rightly said, we do use those industrial craft machines quite a lot, and it would be nice to put a few upgrades into them. Let's go ahead and grab that other cactus screen that I had left over in there, and we can get rid of the old squid in the ink. So, where are we? We want to put in here some more cactus. Also, time to put in another stack of coal. You need a lot of coal dust to be able to make these diamonds. It's quite a long process. As you can see, I've already got 3 stacks of coal dust. That's not going to be enough. What you need in order to make a diamond, a single diamond is very expensive. If we just go in here and find it. So basically what you need to do is put a coal chunk in a compressor. Well, obviously we've got the compressor, but in order to make a coal chunk, you need a block of obsidian, hence wanting an infinite supply of lava. We need a block of obsidian surrounded by 8 compressed coal balls, and in order to make the compressed coal balls, you need to put a coal ball in the compressor, and in order to make a coal ball, you need a piece of flint surrounded by 8 coal dust. So as you can see, it's quite a lengthy process. In fact, it is a process that we can actually start, because we do have quite a bit of flint around. We should have a couple of stacks in there. There we go. We've got 20 flint here. So let's just start doing this while we can. So we'll go ahead and we will... No, we don't want to put that in the crafting station. We want to grab our flint, and the coal dust is in the other chest, so that doesn't help. We want to grab our flint, and we want to surround this flint with coal dust. And that will give us 20 coal dust balls. Now, as you can imagine, that's not a lot. That's from 2.5 stacks of coal. And that 2.5 stacks of coal has given us 20 coal balls. So that's only going to be enough to make, well, not even 3 diamonds. So it is a very, very expensive process. But we can go ahead and put that into the compressor. So let's do that while we're waiting. You're still macerating. You have finished that. I was sure we had more than that, but apparently not. So let's go ahead and grab the rest of the sealant, and it was cobblestone fluid pipes that we wanted, wasn't it? Yeah. So that gives us a total of 18. That might be enough, but I'm not convinced that it is. Oh, got a couple more there. Good. And we will need a kinesis pipe or two. So let's grab those. And this is the... is this the wrong floor? I guess it kind of technically is the wrong floor. So let's see if we can sort this mess out. So back up here. So this is going to be the output on this side. And you're going to go down through the hole in the floor there. 16 pipes. Will there be enough? I don't think so. We might have to wait for some more cactus. But you're going to come down here. Follow the same path along. Yeah, we're really going to run short of pipeage here. Because this pipe has to find its way. We missed a block out there. There we go. So this pipe is going to have to find its way along. And... actually, no, I guess it doesn't. I guess I can actually just connect it up on the other side. Which makes a lot more sense, actually. Let's go ahead and get rid of... let's get rid of all these bits of pipe here. Oh, little bit of lag delay there. Get out of there, luggage. I need to do stuff. Okay, I don't suppose... I do still have the stone, which is fantastic. Luggage, have you... luggage, get out of the hole. Now look what you made me do, luggage. This thing can be... he's useful, but sometimes he's just really annoying. I'm just going to pick him up because he's getting on my nerves. Let's go ahead and shoot that one out. Yeah, that should work. So let's go ahead and fill in all these nasty spaces that we've left. There we go. That looks much more neat and tidy already. Cobblestone fluid pipe. So we don't actually need to go all the way around in this direction. How am I going to get around the ladder, though? I guess I just build in this direction. It makes more sense, doesn't it? So if we go out here, build around the ladder, and we basically want to come down to here. Now, I don't want the pipes to connect directly to the tank, which is where I've got to be careful. So we'll run the pipes down here. And we need to take out these two tiles. This has made a little bit of a mess because now we've got unsightly dirt. Let's go ahead and block that back in with some of this stuff. Let's get rid of that bottom piece of pipe. Pick those up. Now, what you'll see here, which is what always happens, is we are exactly one pipe short. That is annoying. One pipe short. Is there a second way to make a fluid pipe? Stone fluid pipe, cobblestone fluid pipe. I've got a feeling there's another way to make pipe sealant. Slime ball. 341 slime ball. Do I have one? Let's have a look. Because I do have slime balls, but there's a couple of different types. You can go in there now. Slime balls. If I have any that are in here. 341 slime ball. There we go. So... can make you into pipe sealant, which means we can make another pipe. Where did I put everything? Cobblestone transport pipe. Makes you into a fluid pipe. And we need to put the machine in as well, of course. So let's go ahead and do that. We have the machine here. So the machine is going to go down. Now, the bottom is the output. So that's the bottom. Bottom is the output, which is red, I think. And then the side is the input, which should be blue, I think. We'll double check and get it right. We need to make sure that we've got the power connected up. So that means we're going to use the kinesis pipes. There we go. So that should now work. I say in great hope. Let's just turn it on. See if it actually gets power. We want the back to be not that one. The back one, which is that one. Yep, it is receiving power. That's fantastic. Where do we want to go from here? Downstairs. Let's go and put this kinesis pipe away because we don't need that anymore. Let us go and sleep it off so we can just get the power coming back into the bat boxes and stuff. Fantastic. Now we want to go down here. We've got that last piece of pipe that we need. There we go. Everything is now connected up. So, if we go up to the machine... It's a little bit stupid now because this is built all on the wrong level, which means a lot more running around will be needed, but... This is what I like about Minecraft. I like having pipes and wires and cables and stuff everywhere. If I go ahead and put this in empty and put in this water bucket, for example, it should empty it out unless I've got the things the wrong way around. We have the power. Maybe I've got the outputs the wrong way around. So the output is the one on the bottom, which I've currently got set to red. Maybe that should be set to blue. Oh, no, there we go. But that hasn't emptied out. That's the red bucket there. Bottom red. Yellow. There we go. Needs to be yellow. So that's emptying out. So if I put in... That should mean now... Let's have a look. See if it's worked. Looks like we're going to have to build some more elevators so we can get around here. So that water should have gone through the pipes. And it is doing. It's over here. So now we have water in this one. So if I go ahead and grab... Now this is the stone fluid pipe, isn't it? So if I go ahead and grab another stone fluid pipe and put that in here. And now it's connected that second one up. If we go back up to the fluid or liquid transposer, whatever it's called these days. And this time we'll put in something else. But I think I'm thinking of a different machine, aren't I? Yeah, this is just the one for... I'm having memory issues now because I'm thinking it's the liquid transposer that you need to make the liquid ender and stuff like that, and it's the fluid transposer that you need to actually move the stuff, but not to melt the stuff down. So I've got to build the machine for that. But at least we've got the fluid transposer now, which means it's another way of filling up fuel cells and things like that. So I'm glad that I've got it built anyway, and it is working the way that it is supposed to work. So I am happy about that. I'm going to call that an episode because I think that has been productive. Admittedly, it's not been the smoothest of operations, and I think I've derped the build order. It's been such a long time since I've really played Minecraft. I've really kind of forgotten a lot of stuff, which is kind of bad, but at the same time, you know, it's a lot of stuff has changed since I played before. A lot of the mod packs have changed and things. I use this place just to put in the spare pipes and stuff like that. Just remember to put the luggage back down. So let's get out of here. Luggage, you can go down on the ground. Of course, now we have an empty bucket as well. You're not carrying anything useful. Let's go ahead and put that back in there. Suppose the empty bucket can go in as well. How are we doing here? We're still macerating you down. We've managed to compress these coal balls. And then what we can do now... We don't actually have any obsidian up here, but if we just go downstairs, get rid of this dirt that I'm carrying, pick up a couple of blocks of obsidian. Get rid of the cobblestone that I'm carrying as well. And then if we go up to the crafting bench... obsidian in the middle. Surround that by the these compressed coal balls, and we get a couple of coal chunks. And then what we can go and do is put these coal chunks in the compressor, and hopefully, very hopefully, it will result in diamonds. So I'm going to have to look up now and remember what that other machine was to actually melt the ender pearls down. There we go. Now we have diamonds. So we do actually have a way of making diamonds. It's an expensive way of doing things, but it essentially means, well, not exactly free diamonds, but it's a much easier way of getting them than mining for them. So there we go, we've now got ourselves a couple of extra diamonds to add to the collection. So not too bad at all. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity, and I will see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.